Hi everyone, welcome to Sips for Change. As always, we're your hosts, Martin and Tammy, here to bring you exciting conversations about making events more planet and people conscious.
Today, we're diving into an essential topic for all event planners: digital accessibility. In our current technological world, where virtual and hyper events are increasing in popularity, making them accessible is not just important, it is vital.
Because let's face it, if people cannot access your event, they're not exactly going to rave about it. Also, I think that when people talk about accessibility needs at events, people only think about wheelchair access, but it is way more than that.
You're absolutely right. Accessibility is about acknowledging that everyone experiences the world differently. For some, it's a lifelong reality, like living with a visual or hearing impairment. For others, it's temporary, like recovering from an injury. And sometimes it's situational, like struggling to hear a webinar in a noisy cafe.
Yes, it's also about considering neurodivergent individuals, those who experience and interact with the world in unique ways, like people with autism, ADHD, or sensory processing differences. They might need quiet spaces, clear instructions, or less sensory stimulation to feel comfortable and engaged.
But no matter what the reason, everyone deserves to feel welcomed and included. Accessibility isn't just a checkbox, it's about creating moments where no one feels left out or invisible. Because at its core, it's about human dignity and belonging.
Well said, Tammy. So, this week we'll break down what accessibility looks like in a digital environment, and then next week we'll follow up with more details about practices regarding accessibility at in person events.
Perfect. Let's kick things off with some of the basics. Making sure everyone can access and engage with your digital content is vital, whether it's on your phone or on your computer screen.
Yes, and we're not just talking about good Wi Fi. Specifically, let's start with visual accessibility. According to the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG 2.2, they use a commonly recognized acronym called POUR to outline their core principles, which stands for P, perceivable, meaning the content must be able to recognize and use your services with the senses that are available to them. O, operable, which means that users should be able to find and utilize your content regardless of how they choose to access it. U, understandable, meaning that they must be able to clearly understand your content and service features functions. R, robust, which means they must be able to reliably interpret your web content regardless of their mode and means of access.
Thanks for that, Martine. Let's walk through some examples of those. Examples of perceivable content include text alternatives, so alt text for non-text content. It also includes providing transcripts for audio and captions for videos, as well as text colors can be viewed clearly against background color. Examples of operable content includes ensuring that keyboard-only users are able to access and utilize your web features, also adopting descriptive links, which allow users to understand exactly where a link will take them and comprehend the type of hyperlinked content that will be downloaded. It also ensures that keyboard users can clearly view the item with their keyboard or accessive technology as currently focused on, so active focus. Examples of understandable content include ensuring that the language the content is written in is clear and comprehensible. If any language changes occur, it is noted clearly. And two, it also ensures features are consistent and predictable, intuitive in their functionality. It also incorporates visible and meaningful labels for all form fields. And last but not least, examples of robust content, including utilizing HTML to allow assistive technologies to accurately interpret digital content, as well as ensuring your code is compatible and readable by assistive technologies.
Yes, Tammy, thank you. These principles are outlined in detail in three compliance levels under the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.2 as A, double A, and triple A, with A being the minimum level of compliance and triple A being the most optimal level.
Level A includes requirements like having video captions and websites being navigatable through a keyboard. Level AA outlines color contrast standards. And meanwhile, level AAA includes sign language interpretation for audio or video content and meeting contrast levels for color at a 7:1 ratio.
We know this all sounds overwhelming and things can get a bit technical, so this is where it would be extremely helpful to work closely with your web design team and your virtual events platform provider to ensure your registration pages and your virtual event experiences are compliant.
I absolutely agree. I would also mention that the trick for content creators would to be keeping your content as suitable as possible and avoid putting too much text on websites, slides, or videos. It makes them a little bit difficult to read, especially when screen reader capability is super important. Did you know that according to a study by the National Federation for the Blind, over 7 million people in America alone have some form of visual disability and use some type of screen reader tool?
That's a lot of people that could be attending your events if you offer them more supports. Therefore, being mindful about how you create and format your content could be the deciding factor for these attendees.
Absolutely. For instance, Martine, did you know that a phone number such as 703-555-1212 will be read as 703, then with a pause, then 555 minus 1212?
Oh, that wouldn't make any sense at all.
Exactly. So for a phone number to be understood, it would need to have spaces between each of the number so that it would be read out as single digits in a screen reader. However,
Hmm.
displaying a phone number like that wouldn't make any sense to users who don't rely on screen readers either, which is why this is so important to make sure that it's coded in.
I see. This is definitely another good reason why event planners would need to work closely with their web designers and vendors to ensure their platforms are coded in a way that provides this to their respective audience appropriately.
Exactly. Additionally, it's helpful to think about formatting structures like
Mm.
using H1 for titles, H2 for sections, and so on. It helps screen readers navigate content easier. Also, adding descriptive alt text for images and avoiding sneaky text embedded inside images will also help these tools process the content better. Because we know screen readers don't have X-ray vision, okay? So having clean graphics with detailed descriptive text is key.
Agreed. In addition to screen readers, captions are vital to support people with hearing impairments. Real time captions for live events and captioning for pre recorded content can elevate most people's experience. Speaking clearly and being mindful about the visuals on the screen could help make the captions clearer and easier to read, especially when some platforms rely on auto generated captions. It's not only great for people with hearing impairments, but also for those who are sneaking in a webinar at work. Not that we're judging.
We're totally not judging. It's actually efficient. Meanwhile, captions are also great to help capture global audience. Think about translated captions like we provide for Six for Change, and even audio as well. You can also provide transcripts for audio and video. It's a win-win for accessibility and for anyone who prefers reading over listening, like me when I'm without headphones.
Right, me too, Tammy. I'm more of a visual person, so I definitely love that. And don't just rely on color to explain things. Colorblind folks will thank you if you add symbols or labels too.
Lastly, keep navigation simple. Use clear labels for buttons and make sure they're easy to click. For instance, a screen reader will say the word link before it reads the text linked to the URL. This tells a reader there is text that can be clicked on. It would also read each letter of a URL if it's not linked to a word or a sentence, making it really difficult for a user to understand. It is a best practice to use clear linked text that explains what a user would expect if they clicked on it. So
Mm.
avoiding wording like click here or read here because they're too vague and inserting an entire URL creates a poor experience.
Oh boy, yes, Tammy, totally agreed. No one likes being find a secret world to click the link. And a pro tip to conclude, test your platform's accessibility with tools like Equal Web or Lighthouse by Google. Better
Definitely.
safe than better safe than inaccessible. Tammy, any final thoughts?
Just that it's always best to ask your audience about their accessibility needs in advance. Make it
Hmm.
part of your registration process and communicate accessibility features clearly. Don't make people guess if they're able to participate fully at your event.
Yes. Do a test run. Walk through the event from the perspective of different accessibility levels, and if you hit a snag, fix it. Because when everyone feels included, they can relax and enjoy the experience. And that's when the magic happens.
Well said, Martine. That's a wrap for this portion. We hope this helps you create more digitally accessible content.
And share your own accessibility tips in the comments. Let's learn from each other.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification icon so that you never miss out on sustainability deep dives. Thanks for sipping with us, and we'll see you next week.
Until then, keep making conscious choices one sip at a time. Bye.